Hey there, thanks for watching. This is Well Behaved Wallet, where we talk about mindset, motivation, and making or saving money. So today I am coming at you with my 2019 wins and fails so far. Now I know we still have 4 whole months of the year left, but that's part of the reason I am doing this reflection now is because I feel like there's still time left in the year to assess what's gone on. I mean, we've had 8 months of the year so far to look at and kind of gather learning from. And there's still 4 months left of the year to start doing new things and trying new things and kind of trying to course correct based on what we've learned from the previous 8 months. I also feel like seasonally, coming off of the summer, this is a great time to sort of reflect and recharge. I'm feeling like I want to take the time to examine what I've done so far in order to go into the next 4 months of the year really strong with a clear and improved vision in mind. Okay, so I've got for you 5 wins and 2 fails. So I'm going to do the wins first and the fails second. But I feel like the fails, there are only 2, but they're pretty high, or they're pretty kind of significant because they have a lot to do with how I want to adjust, right? So I want to adjust to compensate for the fails and be able to take what I've learned from these fails and use that going into the next last 4 months of the year. So here are my wins so far for this year, 2019. So number 1, I got my business registration certificate. I filed all my official papers for my eBay business to be an official business, which is super exciting for me because I've had this business entity, Finally Yours, for 2 years, more than 2 years now, and I've finally gone through the process with the state to register myself as an official business. I'm just a sole proprietor right now, mostly because I don't anticipate paying any employees this year, and it was just simpler. Should I have to file taxes, which the rate I'm going, probably not, because I won't have netted more than $7,000 profit, which is sad but true. But it was just simpler at first. Once that changes, I know that the preferred method is to be an LLC, limited liability corporation, because that way you are not held liable. Should someone come after your business, they won't be able to get your personal assets, which isn't really a problem right now because I don't have that many personal assets. So my net worth is still kind of in the negative. Not much, but it's still negative. So there's not really much to get there. So that's the reason why I went with the sole proprietorship for now. So that was win number 1, is the business registration certificate. Win number 2 was I actually, with the business registration certificate, I was able to get my wholesale license and paperwork in order, which was a bit of a process. So I did this in February, and I kept looking for a video on how to do this, how to register that in my state, which is New Jersey, and I couldn't find anything. And I feel like it took me forever to figure out my way on like the state website and what I needed to do and all the paperwork I needed. And sometimes it felt like endless loops of like them just leading me down like the wrong rabbit holes. And it was really frustrating. But I persevered and I got what I needed. The wording was a little funny. In terms of what I needed to in order to get that wholesale license. It's actually, you just need the business number, and then you can, a license is something that you generate with each transaction. It's not like a piece of paper. The business registration certificate is the piece of paper. So that was kind of a learning for me. And if you want more information on that or how to do that, let me know, and I'm happy to do a video on that, because what I did find on that was helpful, just as in it's possible to do, just persevere. That's like the most helpful advice I got, was just like keep looking at the state website and keep going. So that was win number 2, is getting my wholesale license information in order. Win number 3 was actually being able to place that first wholesale order. So that set of steps to get to the point when I could actually place the wholesale order was pretty massive at the time, because I've got my full-time job as well in addition to doing this side hustle. So kind of working it through and figuring out what categories I wanted to sell in and how I wanted to acquire this inventory and what I was going to do with it, how I was going to get it, what my plan was. That took a lot of like working and adjusting and strategizing. So that was my January, February, and March. So that I feel like was a huge win, and I'm really proud of that part of my business. Um, so that as far as that goes, those were my huge 3 wins, and that happened in the first quarter um, of the year on my eBay side hustle. So hold on for the end, and I'll tell you about my fails and how that kind of comes into what I had hoped to do but didn't do. So that was those 3 wins were first half of the year, first quarter of the year. My fourth win was actually on this channel. I had been working really hard. Now, I've been doing this channel for 5 years, like 5 whole years, pretty consistently posting. There was a period in, I think, 2016, 17 where I kind of dropped off, but I've been doing it pretty consistently every week for the past 5 years, which is a long time. Again, varying levels of interest and dedication, but I've been working this for a while. And as of like 2 weeks ago, it's August of 2019, as of like I think last week actually, I just got monetized. So I am super proud of that, and I am so grateful to you for watching and for this whole community for being so super supportive. It's an honor, and it's so much fun to be a part of this YouTube financial YouTubers community, and I'm really happy, and I feel very grateful to be part of that, and to be able to eventually, hopefully one day, have this be a viable income stream. Now, so far I've made a whopping $4 in the past week, but it's somewhere, and you have to start somewhere. And I just feel like this is, if I can do it, anyone can do it. And that's fully my mission, is to show that it is possible to build wealth just using like I'm an average person like you, like there's nothing special. It's just perseverance and dedication. And if you really put your mind to it, you can achieve what you set out to achieve. So that's super exciting for me, to have hit that milestone. So that's a definite win for 2019. And my fifth win for 2019 is I had set out at the beginning of the year that I wanted to find mastermind groups. I wanted to find people who had the same or similar goals, and visions for their lives as I did, and to connect with them, and to be a part of that community, and to share, and to be able to bounce ideas off of people. And by the grace of God, I found not one but 2 amazing mastermind groups. So one is strictly devoted to YouTube, with 2 amazing ladies here on YouTube, and they're just incredible. And both of them are like light years ahead of me. But again, it's just showing that, hey, if they can do it, I can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And it's just like this idea of we're all pulling each other up that ladder of success and stability and financial and accomplishment. So that's fully, that was a huge achieved win. And then the second group is actually off of the Millionaire Fastlane forum, and we run it on Discord, and it's a group of guys. Actually, they're all guys, and they're all over the world, and it's just business income. It's like business strategy, and they're doing their own side hustles as well. I'm actually the oldest one, and I'm the only girl, so I kind of feel like it's an interesting variety. Some of them are doing like coding websites and stuff like that, and it's a great sort of interaction to have. Definitely a different point of view, very exciting, but still similar mindset and goals and attitude, and really encouraging and affirming. So if you'd like any more information on those, I would love to share, because I feel like mastermind and groups, networking in general, is huge and essential for succeeding. Because here's the thing, and this is tough for me, but we can't do it on our own. Like, we just can't. There's no way to achieve beyond yourself if you don't network with other people and build the right relationships. So this is something that's a huge win for 2019 so far. And these are things that I want to do more of and to be more encouraged in. Making your way through whatever bureaucracy you got to get through, like, you can do it. Achieving monetization goals, that's huge. And then connecting with other people who have similar interests and who are further along the path than you are. Like, that is the most exciting part. Sometimes it can be frustrating because you're like, man, I wish I was there. But then it's also encouraging to think, man, one day I could be there. So those are sort of 3 categories, 5 wins, 3 categories, that I'm really super proud of so far for this year in 2019. So now let's go into the fails. And there are only 2, but they're pretty significant because they have to do with, again, motivation and mindset. And the first fail was that on my eBay business, I didn't meet my listing goals. Like, I had some pretty extensive goals for 2019, and I just didn't meet them. And I can justify it however I want to and say, oh, well, you know, the stuff with my day job, and I had to really apply more energy and focus there, which is, you know, justified, absolutely. Sometimes you need to shift focus. But I just didn't dedicate the time to listing. And the thing is, with that wholesale order that I placed, like some of those items, I got 350, 400 items in that wholesale order, and some of them are still unlisted just because I haven't had the time to like organize and list. I just haven't made the time to organize and list, and that is no one's fault but my own. But that's a huge fail, and that's something that I have to say to myself. A, were my goals realistic? And B, what can I do to make more time and to motivate myself? Because right now, eBay is my greatest source of side hustle income. So if I want to increase my side hustle income, I really got to step it up on eBay. So that was fail number one, was not meeting my own goals that I set as far as listing goes. And fail number two on eBay was that my fees are too darn high. Like my fees are routinely 39 to 40%. And that's ridiculous. So what that means is if I make a sale for $100, I'm only making like 70%, you know, or $60 off of that $100 sale, which is ridiculous. So I need to really sit down. My goal is to sit down. That's a fail. And in order to address that, I would like to dedicate time to figuring out why they're so high and what I can do to shift that. I know my shipping is pretty standard. I ship almost everything first class or the padded mailer. So it's not shipping. I really think it has to do with my listing and the way that I'm, well, just my items and the turnover with the whole good till canceled. And I just need to research and to sit down and devote time to that. So that's what I have to do to address those fails. And that's what I'm looking at going into the fourth quarter, into the holiday season. If I'm going to step it up, if I'm going to make this a viable stream of income, this eBay thing, and sort of, you know, increasing that, that's what I got to do. So that is that right there. Those are my wins and fails for 2019 so far. I love the process of reflection. Although sometimes it takes time and honesty, you really got to be honest with yourself. I have to be honest with myself and say, this is where this is where I done good, and this is where I could do better. And it can be a little bit bruising to the ego to not meet your goals and to face that, but it's also really, really satisfying to take ownership and to take control and say, I have no one to blame but myself. But hey, I'm the answer. Like I am both the problem and the solution. So I find that tremendously empowering. I hope this has been helpful to you. Please let me know if you have some time. Like, let me know what your wins and fails for 2019 are. I would love to feel like I'm not alone in this whole idea of reflection, because I love to hear other people's wins and failures. So thank you guys so much. Again, thank you so much for watching. It's an honor to share some time with you, and I hope, as always, that you'll keep watching.